Hey, Donny Walk here. Got some interesting stuff I just found and been given some really cool stuff to me from a friend of mine, Mike Akers. He gave me a whole box full of all these old karting magazines, racing karts, karting sport, racing karts, karting sport, kart world. I used to get those magazines from England years ago. Years ago, when I was a young boy, I subscribed to this one, Karting World in England. I used to get these magazines, and I used to see some really cool stuff before a lot of the Americans or Canadian people even seen them. These are all from the early 60s, 1960 to about 1962. Very cool. They're all in mint shape. And there's some full magazine ones and some small ones. As I laid these out, I found another box because my gal Shelly was cleaning up and did a great job cleaning up the basement here. And I found a box full of old pictures I have from karting years ago. I've been karting, go-kart racing for, like I said, about 47 years. And I've done a lot. Here's a picture of a fella that I met that came to Canada from Japan. I gave him my go-kart to race. And he was normally used to running direct drive, which we had not done much of that here yet. We were running a clutch, and he told me to get that thing off so he can drive it properly. And we put the direct drive pipe on and the direct drive. And that day, there he is leading the pack. He scared me at first. He was all over the track, and I thought, oh, wow, who did I give my go-kart to use? But he smoothened up after he got used to the kart. We did some changes to it. And he kicked butt that day with a direct drive Yamaha against everyone here that knew the track and everything. It was so cool. Found a picture of me here with the Flying Finn from Finland. That's when I was in Japan racing at the World Cup race, the Arten Senna Memorial Race. Okay, don't ask me the year. There's my brother John posing for a picture at one of our races, I think at Country Club or somewhere. Deaton Calverley. He's around these days at the kart track. He's got kids and a wife now, and his mom helps out. She's a great volunteer. There he is. Look at all the trophies he won that year. We sponsored him with a Kiwi kart that we imported from New Zealand. He was a great driver and probably still is if he got out there, eh, buddy? Love you, Deaton. Such good days in those days. Jimmy Pelk Racing, one of my sponsored drivers. I raced in Junior 1 and Junior 2. We won lots of championships. Hey, Jimmy. Good job, buddy. Love you, buddy. There's me with a fella I met from New Zealand one time. He ended up, he was a hitchhiker. I picked him up hitchhiking and took him to Victoria, and he came to the races with me. And I left there, and he said, I told him I was going to California next week to go racing in Medford, Oregon, actually, close to California. And I picked him back up next week and took him down there and dropped him off. He spent time with us, though. So cool to see him, man. I forget his name. There's my brother Johnny, being the flagman of the old Cassie Speedway. Me, Donny Walker, with my daughter. I think she was not even a year old. My dog Timber in one of our little fun carts. I had to give her a cart ride, eh? Here's a special one. Look at that. Johnny Sutton, number 22. Donny Walker, number 10. Jerry Patterson, number 1. That's Jerry's highlight, man. Jerry, we taught him to race. I taught him how to fix his cart, work on his engine. Just bought a truck off him recently. Good friend of mine. Love you, buddy. Love you too, Johnny Sutton. That's a cool picture. That's us racing at Country Club Mall. Back whenever. Can't remember years. Pretty cool pictures. A couple of my old so-ons from 1994. Regional champion, IKF, 95. I got other ones too, but I don't know where they're at. There's Johnny again in his cart, number 66. I had a K71 comment on it then, Capital City Kart Club. I'm going to give him these pictures tomorrow. So I wanted to show you all that. Plus I got an old thing I have here of the original Cassie Speedway track. It was the day we paved it. That's cool, eh? I ran the pavement roller over it, you know, the vibrator roller. So I done the slowest laps in that track ever, And I've also done some of the fastest laps on that track when I was racing Yamahas and Formula A motors, reed valve engines. Yeah, a lot of fun. I love karting, but these old magazines are cool. Look at this one. It's like El Toro. It's like 1961. They were racing down in Mexico in the dirt. Oh man, these old magazines are really cool. So, yep, kart racing, logger sports, chainsaws, a lot of these old books. This is where my dad started walkerizing chainsaws. He learned how to modify two-stroke motors out of these old magazines years ago. He took note on kart engines and stuff. Then when he started working for McCullough, wow, he went on from there, right? But this is how he figured out his stuff. And thank you very much, Mike Akers, for giving me all these old magazines. I'm going to go all through them, all the articles. And no, I'm not looking to sell them to vintage people. I know people would love to have these. I'm sure they're worth some money. There's Bob Allison in one. There's all sorts of old-time racers from around the world in Europe in these magazines. They're pretty cool, man. You know, here's just an interesting one here. Cars and karts, you know. You know, some of the stuff from the sand dunes years ago. Just cool stuff. Here's a magazine I think is starting to show maybe the first like Italian motors that came over, eh? You know, those types, you know, the open big fin ones, eh? Mach 5, Mach 4 converting. Oh, just cool stuff. I can't go on enough about it, you know. Watching these old guys and the way they raced years ago and stuff, like all their legs and knees are hanging out to the front, eh? No body protection or nothing. Pretty cool. Anyways, not saw related, but this is how saws, you know, got going years ago, was from this stuff. And people use saw motors and stuff on go-karts, and the West Bend motors, the Wisconsin, the Clinton, Tecumsehs, Briggs, McCulloughs, you know, then the Yamahas and Comets and Pirellas and stuff from Europe came, the BMs, the TKMs, whatever, right? Anyways, good stuff. I just wanted to show that tonight. So keep sawing wood, sticking the ash, rubbing the road. I'm going racing again this weekend. Hopefully I can do some sort of cam work on that. I love to have the camera on my helmet, so I got to figure out a mount for it. I got to get hold of my friend, the Oldenthal brothers, and see if I can trade them another chainsaw or something for one of them nice camera mounts for your, what do you call those things? The camera on your head, anyways. Okay, have a great day. Check out the WalkerSawShop.com online store. Have a great night. Bye. Thumbs up for karting, by the way.